everybody, and welcome to Roll with Advantage, and welcome to Atarashi. Very excited to dive into tonight's session and the place that the party has arrived in as of last session. But let's not delay since we're off to a little bit of a late start. Only thing that you need to know is that Cameron will not be here, so Suni will be played by Bianca. Not Bianca. Suni will be played by Felicity tonight in terms of mechanics, and I think that Felicity is going to try and roleplay Suni. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, all right, cool. Let's roll the intro and get started. Yeah, this might be.
For what I'm fucking doing, but I'm trying every fucking day.
I would have never even met you.
Sure, it's a very lengthy repertoire, but
a powerful warrior, which, I definitely agree with you on, but
And we are back. So let's go ahead and dive into tonight's session. As is tradition, it is not I who does the summary, it is the players. This week on summary is John.
It's me.
Yes. So John, whenever you're ready, take it away.
Yes. Book 9, Chapter 5. While isolated in the woods, Ajax has an encounter with Ares, the son of Zeus, who offers him hammers as a testament to his warrior spirit. To accept, however, Ajax needs to abandon his Pelor-affiliated weapons, his spear and shield. He's also mentioned to look out for Bianca's connection with Hades with the conversation. Agreeing, Ajax experiences chains emerging from the hammers and binding to his wrists. And with that, he is attuned to the hammers. Returning to the camp, he leaves his old weapons by Bianca's sleeping area. The next morning, Cecily tells the party about her conversation with Poe. Ajax shares his new alliance with Ares. Suni unveils his backstory with the dragons. And wait, what did I write? Suna, not Suni. Suni, not Suni. Suna, Jesus. Suna unveils her backstory, revealing she is the daughter of Clan Akai's empress. Her relationship with the blacksmith's daughter, Yuki, led to Yuki's execution due to their class difference and Suna's subsequent dishonor and banishment. The party pledged to protect Suna in Atarashi, and she promised a guidance in return. Caracilla utilized an item from the dream world to glimpse into the past and spied on Draven's meeting with Empress Suen, noting their allegiance against the party. Cecily queried Tyr about his aspirations in Atarashi, discovering his peace mission with Heimdall. At a Pelor temple, Bianca saw insight into Ajax's destiny and had a possible divine encounter. Cecily later confided in Caracilla about her ambivalence towards Poe. During a watch, Ajax and Suni resolved misunderstandings, and Suni disclosed a vision of his ancient dragon lineage and destiny tied to Clan Akai. I don't remember when I write this. The party traveled then to Atarashi and met the necromancer, Alaric, and now are in his home, abode,
his tower.
That is the summary.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. Much appreciated. So with that, we will go ahead and oh God, everything's broken. Oh my God, all my stuff is like everything is like labeled weirdly, like it's this playlist.global volume up at the top. Okay, so with that, we'll go ahead, dive in right where we left off. All of you had just stepped in and were greeted by Alaric. Inside the tower itself with your party, as well as Tyr and Suna, You enter in and you're immediately struck with the like harmonious blend of this traditional Atarashi artistry, which some of you would be familiar with from your travels to here or near here, very similar to that of the Loshari. But you can also see these elements of like wizardry function. There are these deep ebony wooden floors, and there are these magical lights that just float and glow all around the area. However, even though there is this beauty and artistry of the Atarashi, you can see these tomes and scrolls scattered about on tables in the surrounding area. And for those of you that have a deeper understanding of magic, or Bianca, in your case, your grim psychometry, your blood hunter stuff, you can recognize a lot of these books and tomes rooted in necromancy. You can recognize the runes on top. Does anybody here speak Dwarvish? No?
No.
I don't think so.
No? Okay. So, nothing there. However...
Matsuni? Oh, I don't have his character sheet pulled up.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Actually, wait,
I think he would just know Common and Draconic, right?
I have a party overview
Yeah,
thing.
that makes more sense since he can barely even do those two. So.
Damn.
Yep.
And that's not shade. That's just truth. So.
That is true. The only two people across all parties that can read Dwarvish are Eurydice and Twig.
Okay.
Well,
If
Cool.
only we had them.
they're in the right campaign then.
Yeah.
Doing a lot more dwarf stuff over there.
Okay, cool. So, even though you can't recognize the runes, there is something else that that you catch. You know that this tower, wherever it may be in Atarashi, is very close to the sea. There is this scent of refreshing seawater that sort of lingers in the air. You can see that Alaric sort of looks to all of you with a smile, greeting you as you enter, as he had just said, "Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's very, very, very wonderful to have you in my tower. I suppose for your time here, you can call this your temporary respite, or if you're feeling more inclined, Hotel Thornbridge." You are my honored guests here, as per the request of a very good colleague of mine, Rune Master Emeril. So, if there's anything you should be needing of me, I'd be more than inclined and more than happy to share that with you. And, of course, should you need anything that I cannot provide for you, or if I happen to be busy with my studies or my experimentation, any one of my servants here would be more than happy to help you. Ossian, right there, my good friend, he is especially adept at communicating with the other undead. Some of them, they have a bit harder time understanding words as brain rot begins to set in eventually. But Ossian, smart as a whip, that one. So, welcome. Very happy to have you here. And, well, take a seat, relax, or unless you feel as though you have to run out the door now, I feel as though it'd be not very kind of me to at least offer some type of pleasantries upon your arrival, a little bit of drink, a little bit of food before you set out on your way.
I mean, thank you. Yes. That might be nice just to get our bearings. Really appreciate the hospitality. We're not obviously familiar with the area, so is there any advice you could give us or what we can expect when we go out?
Of course. Yes, so in terms of advice I can offer you, what would I say? So, general layout of the island you're currently on. You're currently on the island of Clan Shiroi, just so you know, which is the easternmost island in Atarashi. So, you're about 2 days away from the city of Namiura, which is the main port city in Atarashi. This is where most travelers come in and out of. There should be a map over there on the coffee table that you should be able to examine to see what I'm speaking of. And yeah, I mean, for ease here. This is generally what the map on his coffee table looks like.
Nice.
So, we have, pointing to that area right there, that is the place he was talking about. I will go ahead and post that in chat, the name of it.
Okay, and okay, so Draven's down on Clan Akai, so we... Sorry, I'm speaking out of character, but I'm sure they're talking about this in character. So guys, do we think our plan should be to make our way to the port city so we can then get to Clan Akai?
Unless we have business on Clan Opokami, which I don't think we do, but...
Well, so, what I'd like to say first, before you do too much planning and prepping, as I can see you're very excited to get to Draven Hunt, but there are a few things that you should know about his activities in this area. From the limited information that Emerald gave me, it seems as though all of you have been incapacitated for about a month, give or take. Is that correct?
Yeah, we had some pretty bad wounds from our last battle.
Deeply sorry for your injuries. However, most of you seem to be quite all right, except for that young chap right there, pointing to Ajax. Well, if you have any questions about your condition, I'd be more than happy to answer them. But we can get to that later, I suppose. So, the thing you should know about what Draven Hunt has been doing is he arrived some time ago with a small portion of soldiers. He helped a few of the different smaller clans and worked his way up, eventually earning the favor of Empress Suin, from what I have read and what I've heard. The issue is, Draven has worked his way into all of the different clans all around the islands. So while you may be able to rush into Clan Akai and try and storm the keep and kill Draven, I will inform you that, there have been many assassination attempts on Empress Suin's life. None of them got past the walls. And, considering we have here the Queen and her council of Belliclara, the usurpers of the investors, the current allies of Empress Suin, you might have a little bit of a harder time getting into the keep.
Who's been trying to assassinate the Empress?
Who hasn't? Not very well liked she is, but like a cockroach almost. She is unkillable. No matter what you throw at her, always back. Always again. In fact, there was one person that thought that they had gotten her. A diplomat from a different clan came to have dinner with her, poisoned her. Poisoned both of them at the same time, actually. It was said, counted from what I had read. Of course, can't read everything you read, but from what I had read, the assassin and the Empress drank the poison at the same time. And as the assassin, the diplomat, their throat began to close, their face began to shift purple as they had the reaction to the poison, this choking poison. Empress Suin watched. No effect upon her. Now, if you ask me, it sounds like necromancy, but not everything can be attributed to it. So, there may be something else at play there that all of you should be aware of. I will say, things on the island belonging to Clan Shiroi have not been great. You see, the clan is divided into two halves, those that dwell on the floor, sea level, and those that live in the karst. It only makes sense that Draven would ally himself with those of the karst clans, those up in the mountains. However, I fear that within the karst themselves, several days from now, a little bit less than a week, there is a festival that is currently being planned. One that is traditional, one that takes place every single year. However, I fear that Draven may have something planned for the current clan leader. You see, of the clan of Shiroi, the leader of this clan, someone who holds a sizable amount of power, well, he has been less willing to cede to Empress Suen's ideas and commitments to Draven. His name is Taroshi, I believe. And I believe at this festival, they may plan to have him assassinated, weaken his claim and his allies, having everyone fall in line to Empress Suen. You see, it's always been her dream, instead of having the 3 clans, well, that she would be Empress over all 3 islands. And should Taroshi be executed, then, well, she will get what she wants.
When did you say this festival is going to take place?
In about a week, I believe.
Draven might be there.
Well, we also could use this feud between the clans to our benefit. I mean, we're pretty positive that the Empress wouldn't be able to see reason, and if we have the investors that obviously will not want to hear what we have to say, Draven and the Empress all against us. If there's somebody who seems to already be in opposition, maybe we should back them up, help them out, and then maybe we'll have an easier time getting to Draven.
Yes,
Is
I
this
have
the
no disagreements with the plan.
I will say
Is
that
this-
a frontal assault on Akai City is an awful idea. But if you strike up enough allies between Clan Shiroi and Clan Opokami, well, I think very easily that they could either A, smuggle you into the city, or convince some of the guards of Clan Akai the folly of their ways, letting you
I
get
don't
into the city.
think- Yeah, I don't think we're in the market to do any more big attacks. But knowing who we can trust and earning their trust might just be step 1. I mean, Draven's, and she looks to Carasilla as she says this. Draven should not be underestimated. He's done the work, and he works fast. I mean, I feel like it was not that long ago that he was still confused about who he was, and now suddenly here he is again.
We know why. Or what put him back to the way he is.
Right. But still, it just seems so fast. Not his change of heart or anything, but the power he's already been able to gain.
Well, he has a very strong ally.
Right.
We are here for Draven. And Lorokan. We should stay out of the politics as much as possible.
You can try. That much is very true. But unless you plan to live on in a tower secluded from the rest of the population, might be difficult.
Sounds like personal experience.
Oh, yes. You see, I wanted to live somewhere secluded to continue my experimentation and my studies. Atarashi seemed like a great choice. On top of that, it's on very, very, very powerful ley lines. Makes my work much easier. However, you would not believe the offers I get on a weekly basis from different clans to bring back long dead warriors to fight once more. Ugh, sounds horrid business. And because of that, they shun me, they do not like me, and so I have to have most of my goods imported from other allies I have within the College of Hearthcrest. So, by declining offers, by doing what you need to do to get to Draven, you might not directly participate in the politics, but you will have chosen a side. And people will remember that.
I think the assassination of the Empress should at least be off the table.
Agreed. But we're definitely not here to solve their problems. We have our own in the Old Kingdom that we're still working on.
Agreed.
However, keeping them fighting will also keep them from following us home. They need to keep their front strong here. So I just don't want any stragglers. We probably will have to choose some sort of side, and if they're in opposition to Draven, sounds like they're an ally. With more information, of course. We don't know these people.
So where do we head to find this Taroshi?
Well, if you're going to search for him, he will be in the largest city within Clan Shirio's lands. You would be looking for the city of Tutsikage. And I will go post that in the chat. Large. However, in order to... Oh, not Adarashi. However, in order to get access into that city, you will need to buy passports. All of you, except for you, young lady, being foreigners to this land. You can buy those in the port city. You see, most of the primary cities are built in the Kars, and there are guard checks all along the way to make sure that people who don't have passes don't get into those cities.
Who did he look at when he
Suna.
said not you?
Suna.
Does he know who Suna is?
Nope. But she looks like she's from Adarashi, just from the sort of clothing that she wears and her general appearance.
Well,
Visual file.
Yeah.
Are the passports hard to obtain?
They are about 1,000 gold apiece.
well,
very
I
expensive.
guess I'm going home.
Come the fuck again?
Yes. 1,000 gold
We need
apiece.
to work because I think I gave all my money to the Old Kingdom. This is really funny.
Is there any
I
way
have
to steal
15
them?
gold. We're not
I mean,
stealing.
I haven't spent anything on anything, and so I could spot 3 of us, so...
I wonder how. Let me see how much Suni
Don't
has.
worry, I'll blend
Like
in. I don't need
Suni
one.
hoards all of his.
I'll pay for Ajax, and I guess... I don't know what Suni's money situation is,
Let me
nor I
take
guess
a look.
Cecily's.
Ajax is
Bianca
going.
has no money. Ajax has no money. I got both of yous.
Okay.
I know Cecily has at least 500 gold.
Suni has 95 gold.
Oh my god. Wait, that's not true, is it?
Yeah, what did Suni spend his money on? Does he not?
Oh,
So
those
don't still
rings,
have-
I think.
The rings and the diamond. How many diamonds does he have? Only one?
Even still.
Because that's
Let's see.
only
Because I thought he
100
managed his
gold.
character sheet on Foundry, not D&D Beyond.
I thought he did
Well, which
too.
one has more money is the real question.
Weird. Inventory. Yeah, it says 95 gold here.
In both.
I'm not looking on.
Oh, here, I'll check real quick.
I'm looking on
Shiny?
Foundry.
Shiny, shiny. Honey, honey. 95, yep.
Yeah. Well,
Ajax.
I will loan you the rest of the money you need in order
Oh
to get the
my God.
passports.
What a lad.
It's really
We
sweet.
can. If you need
We
our
have
help with anything.
money in the old kingdom.
Yes, as do most travelers from wayward lands. Yes. Give me one
my
moment. I'll be
God.
right back.
Sassafrats.
I think he dislikes us now.
He
We
leaves.
didn't even
Really got anything
ask.
good going for us.
That is true. He did
Pay
say he
1,000
would.
gold just to fucking walk around here? I thought Bella Clara was bad.
Yeah.
Everywhere's bad.
Gee, great.
All right. Got the money. All right, come here, each one of you. And he hands just each one of you a bag of 100 platinum. There you go. There you go. There you go. And there you go.
But where are you getting this?
When you've lived for as long as I have, and you're from Iverion, you know how to make a quick gold piece when you need it. And I know how to make a lot of gold pieces very quickly.
Okay, I won't argue.
He makes a skeleton pickpocket people.
I think that might be a little obvious. Rattling
Well,
bones?
Nah, 3 of them stand in front, and the person is like, "What the fuck is that?" And then the other one behind them. takes
Oh,
the gold.
yeah. Now, I will expect that to be paid back.
Yes, absolutely. We can do that.
All right. Well, then, very good. Still, of course, any of the amenities, any food, any drink you need is on the house. I won't add it to your bill.
He's
Does
such a
he
giving
see?
cat.
Does he seem very upset about what he's saying right now?
Make an insight
think-
check.
I think we got a disapprove up in the top corner. So
Yeah, he's not upset, but he's definitely like, why does Emerald always send these types to my doorstep?
Yeah, it's like our connection with Emerald is the only thing that's keeping us here right now. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's worth
So-
more than the thousands of gold he's spent on us already.
Well, I will have some food and drink brought to all of you, and if it is getting later by now, it might be better to head out during the day. There is a small farming village that has a quaint but a comfortable tavern that you'd be able to stay at in the meantime. Too much stuff in... Okay, here we go. Too much stuff in Legend Keeper. New Arc.
You prepped too hard.
The town of Kishori is what you're looking for. It is very quaint, it's a nice place. You'll be able to find whatever you need there and a soft bed to rest before you head into the port city. The people there are very nice. What is his name? One of the only people in Clan Shiroi that doesn't look down on me. The elder of that village. You might be able to find a friend in him to help you in whatever you need. Maybe get a little bit more information about the port city. I haven't been there in some time. And I try not to get anywhere close.
well, thank you so much. This is more than enough help.
Yes, definitely more than I was anticipating, but anything for an old friend. So, if you'll be needing nothing else from me, I will return to my studies as he kind of backs up a little bit. If you need anything, please feel free to ask Ossian. He does get time off, though, so anything past sundown, you'll need to find one of the others to assist you with that. All right?
You
Okay.
said you wanted to speak to me.
Oh, yes. I apologize. I realize now that Emerald had told me all of your names, so I knew that. But I didn't give all of you the opportunity to introduce yourselves, and I think it would be strange if I just started calling you by your names. So, if you want to introduce yourselves, you can, but I do already know them. So if you just want to skip the more formality, we can.
Yeah, let's skip it.
All right, very good.
I'm Ajax.
Oh, we're doing it. Okay, hello, Ajax. Just him?
Bianca. Damaris.
Bianca. Oh.
Karasolodowski.
Oh, well, this is all fucked up.
Oh.
Now, Cecily, Tierson.
That's Tears. Tear goes, I'm Tear.
I
Spitting
forgot
image.
Tyr was with us.
It's so funny that he's here
and
right
Suni!
now.
I forgot. Suni. Suni's like reaching for a vase, puts his hand behind his back. Suni Kalakathu.
You see Alric step forward. Young man, I just gave you 100 platinum.
I just wanted to look at it. It's so beautiful.
I know you're lying.
Yeah, I am. I'm working on it.
He can't help it.
Oh.
I'm helping it. You know? Yeah.
Well, stop helping yourself to my things.
Ah, right.
Well, wonderful getting to meet all of you. Very nice, very nice. If you need anything else, I will be in my study. If Ossian cannot help you with it. Farewell. And he turns
Let's go
around.
talk to him.
As soon as Alaric's gone, Cecily's gonna turn to the group and be like, he already mentioned food, right? I was gonna ask him, but he seemed so bothered.
Yeah, he did.
You can see Ossian,
Okay,
who's off in the
good.
corner, says, You wished for food?
Yeah. I'll usually eat.
Very good. Is there anything in particular you would like?
Oh. I don't know. I thought we were just gonna get tower food. What are the options?
My good friend Alaric, he keeps much in his storerooms, far away from the undead as to not, well, you see undead rot, and food and rot do not go together very well. So if there's anything I can get you, that would be from the nation of Ivarion. He keeps those stocked very well. Salted meats, ale, some malted wine, some non-alcoholic ciders, if there is anyone who does not wish to drink. Water, of course. Also, there are some soups that could be put on the fire to heat up, if you would wish.
Oh, soup. Soup. Soup.
All right, I will prepare some soup. Delightful. Is there anything else anyone would like while I am down?
I think the rest of us are good. Thank you.
Very well. If you require anything else, please do not hesitate to ask. You can see
So good.
Ossian. With that, he turns and he heads back into the area that you came from, where the teleportation circle is. Ajax, you can follow Ulrich if you'd like.
I know he stepped away
he
for
stepped
a second.
He stepped away.
Because I was gonna say I think we want Ajax to talk to Alaric, but beyond that information, did anyone else want to stick around here, or did we want to get moving to that next town?
I'm mostly good to get moving. All Cecily would be doing while she's eating her soup is just very curiously watching the undead wander around. But she probably wouldn't say much about it at this moment for fear of being rude on accident.
Actually, Bianca's gonna ask Suna. So you won't be noticed by anybody the way you look now? And can we call you by your name, or do you need to go by something else?
In all reality, there are a lot of women my age that are named Suna. Most of the young girls that were born on Clan Akai, the year I was born, were given my name as a sign of respect to Empress Suin. So, the name shouldn't cause any alarm, but my appearance, I look like a commoner of Adarashi, a vagabond, like I spent time wandering. Like I don't belong to a clan, so it shouldn't be an issue.
But if, let's say, the worst happens and the Empress does see you, would she recognize you?
I don't know, honestly.
Is that a
Um,
chance you want to risk? I mean, even if it's not high, it's not impossible.
I
We
mean,
could try and
the
find you something to
Empress
disguise yourself.
being outside of City Akai, though.
Right. It's not likely, but I don't know. Anything can happen.
Yeah. I mean, I do have magic that could disguise myself to at least hide my appearance a little bit.
Just in a pinch.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, I
just
can.
sounds risky.
Otherwise, yeah. No, it makes sense.
Okay. How does it feel? We're not in Akai, but
Yeah, it's strange to say the least, for sure. Um, but I don't know. I guess good, kind of. I mean, I haven't been home in so long. There are a lot of things I love about it. So I'm happy to be back. I'll feel better when I suppose I feel safer, I guess.
well, please let us know if there's anything we can do to help with that feeling. Make you feel safer.
Okay, I will. I promise.
Okay. We have your back. We're keeping an eye out for you.
Thanks. And I do appreciate it.
And yeah, she'll nod, but guess this is a good time for Ajax to do whatever he wants to do. I don't know.
Oh my god, okay. If you insist. So, Ajax, Alaric did say the two of you could talk, but he headed up to his study. So if you go and speak with him, you will have some privacy.
Yeah, Ajax will let everyone know that he'll be right back and then head up to the study.
Okay. So you head up that direction, and as you enter through the archway, you do have to go outside, and the stairs leading up are exposed. They're outside, and you can see the water sort of rushing past in this very, very narrow ravine that the tower has been built on top of. You can see a small boat that it seems as though you would assume Alric uses himself to go and get, say, fresh fish if he happens to need it in that particular day. But you walk through the archway, and you see him currently working on what looks to be a cadaver. His workspace is completely cleaned off. It is surgical, very much so. You can even see that he is wearing these sort of large leather mitts over his hands to keep his hands covered.
Ajax knocks.
Yes, please come right in, Ajax. I was assuming you may wish to speak, all things considered. So,
What exactly is that?
some poor sod that washed up on the riverbank there. Must have gotten on the bad side of the bandits that exist on the forest floor. It is, well, quite sad to see when it happens, but I wanted to give him a second lease on life. Might not be grand living, but it's something, at least.
Don't you think that it's against their will?
It's a very
What
good
if
point.
he passed on to the other side, and now you're bringing him back?
My friend, I think you have a very narrow understanding of the boundaries of life and death and how we operate within them. You think that
I have more than most.
experiencing death does not make you a master of it. I have spent much of my time surrounded by life and death, the cycle, entrenched in it. And I have discovered that it's not so clear as the clerics and great warriors of the Raven Queen make it out to be. You see, when I animate a corpse, I'm not stealing a part of its soul to animate it. I'm giving it a part of myself. I sacrifice a part of me to bring this corpse back to life. They still have some echo of their memories. They don't necessarily have the same feelings or same soul, because their soul's not there. Their soul is in whatever afterlife they prayed for and hopefully they got. What you see here is merely an echo of who they once were. Some necromancers choose to make their works empowered. They choose to rip a part of that soul away to make their undead even stronger. Me, I think most people, when death comes to them, they'd do anything to live another day, even if it was not as they originally thought. Because it's either I bring him back and let this corpse walk around and feel something, the breeze on his face. Let him walk, have agency, or the fishes eat his corpse. Now, I don't know what you'd prefer, but I especially think it is, I think it's because you're in a bit of a liminal space right now, friend. You are located at an in-between, a crossroads.
And where exactly is that?
Well, you are located precisely in the middle of life, death, of light and shadow, smack dab right in the middle.
You can tell that by looking.
Mm-hmm. You see, you smell undead. And I don't just mean you rot. Your decay isn't even that bad yet. To most people, you'd have to be pretty close and, well, you'd have to be very active for that smell to even be picked up by human noses. You look human, but that's illusion magic. Obviously, a wizard as skilled as myself can see that just as easy. But what you feel like, you almost feel like a revenant. Undead entities that had vengeance still left in their life. Something was taken from them and they were brought back for revenge. That's what you feel like. But no matter what illusions you cast over yourself, there's a sadness in your eyes I can see. That is not a revenant. I don't know what you are, but what I do know is you are undead. There is magic at play that, while I can comprehend, I do not understand. And I think it's very interesting.
Is there a way to reverse it?
Reverse it? Well, supposing you did want to do something like that, you would need a new vessel for the body to go into. Because that one you have right now is rotted out. The only reason it's being held together is because your soul is trapped in it, keeping it together like glue. So, get a new vessel. Find someone who's strong enough to transfer your soul to the new vessel, and hope that whatever is keeping you inside of that vessel is willing to let go. Find out those things, and well, I think you'll be good as new.
Are you someone that can transfer souls from vessels?
No. I don't participate in magic involving souls anymore. One too many bad experiences.
But you did.
I did.
Is this magic out of your realm of possibilities?
It's not out of my realm of possibilities, it's just... It's not something I'd like to ever do again. I think what you need is not someone who is a wizard with an understanding of necromancy. You need someone with a supreme understanding of the divine. That's what I think. Because whatever is gripping onto you, keeping you inside that shell, I have a feeling it does not want to let go. And I fear the arcane is not something that will separate it.
You said you had questions to ask me.
Mm-hmm. Yes. 3, I think, to start, and we'll see how it goes from there. If at any point you get uncomfortable, I suppose you can walk away. I will hold nothing against you.
You may ask.
Question number 1, how did you get that way?
I died in our last battle.
Sorry. I apologize.
My friends, with Emerald's help, attempted to bring me back. I think their magic worked, but not entirely. If I'm being honest, I don't know everything about it, and I don't know how I came back this way.
All right. How about this? How did you feel during the period of time in which you were dead and right before you came back? What did you experience?
Dark. And then pain. I was being held on to by something, a very dark force. It even spoke to me, saying things seemed like it wasn't going to let me go back. But then I came back.
That's very interesting. Final question. Do you feel as though your body is your own? You control it. Just you.
I think
And
so.
when he asked that, Ajax, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
I don't know why I did it twice, but first
Okay.
one's a 19.
19. Okay, that is just a success. As you can see that Alaric's eyes, kind of his eyebrows shoot up, and he says, "Impressive. Continue."
Do I know if he was the one who tried to?
Yeah, it looks as though
something?
he was the one who cast the spell. You can see the kind of arcane magic sort of clinging around him. You can see that this area, magic is more visible because of the ley line and his proximity to it. You almost like these threads that just sort of cling to him and then fade off and away into nothing.
What was it you were just trying to do?
Well, I was trying to read your mind. I wanted to get your deepest thoughts to see if perhaps there was a voice inside that was trying to say something else other than what you were saying out of your mouth, but you were able to resist it. That bodes well for your agency. But I suppose then, tell me.
Ajax looks visibly angry that someone just tried to peer into his mind, because this is not the first time someone has messed with his brain.
I would appreciate if the next time you would let me know before you try to do that.
Well, yes, of course, but then if I do let you know the next time before I try and do that, then it kind of defeats the purpose, right? It wasn't to catch you off guard. It was if there
I
was
understand.
something gnawing at the back of your mind to catch that off guard. But
I've
I
had
understand.
bad experiences with it.
All right. Positive, negative.
Very negative.
Very interesting.
Was that your 3 questions?
Well, 3 and then some. I have a good deal of thinking to do. But should I come up with anything, I will send you a message. I might have something, but no time soon. You see him kind of squint at you and say, well, you're more than welcome to stay here if you'd like, but I will be returning to my work.
Thank you for the conversation.
You're welcome. And
Have a good night.
Ajax, if I may add one more thing. I know it may feel like a curse now, but at least you're here. At least you have that. And he'll kind of turn and
Good
go
night.
back to his work.
Ajax turns and goes back to the group.
Okay.
Ajax, when he comes back, is definitely visibly, I mean, not angry. He's not like walking around pissed off, but he's definitely disheveled from the conversation. Just kind of sits down.
I will say what you walk into. I don't know what the others are doing at this moment, but what you walk into is Cecily realizing that the way lines are really strong here as she's messing around. And she is just going to be like playing games with Magic Hand, just like tossing it around the room, just like, like just marveling at how easy shit is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ajax just kind of looks at it and kind of shrugs and then just walks off and then kind of just sits down, more forceful than you should sit down, just like a oof.
Did you learn anything?
No. He asked me questions. They were deeply personal, but I answered. He said he needs time to think. He tried to read my mind as well.
Why do you think he'd do that?
He asked me a question if I feel like I'm in total control of myself, and he did it to see if there was another voice. I understand why he did.
Do you?
Yes, of course. I just don't like people peering into my mind.
Understandable. Well, maybe those questions will help you out later. Too bad there wasn't much to be done now.
Actually, I did learn something. There's no way to reverse this. Except for transferring my soul into another body.
How would we, like,
It's apparently magic he does not do anymore. And he said that finding someone with great divine energy might be the answer.
Do you want to find someone that would be able to do that for you then?
I don't know.
I think the divine is gonna be the question as well. That seems like something the Raven Queen would be against.
I guess it depends on the body too, right?
Well,
I mean, is it anyone?
Right.
wouldn't the other person have to die?
But I would think it'd be a vessel that's already passed on.
Well, then isn't that the same thing that's happened now?
Or
Well,
like,
what's wrong with your vessel, I guess, then?
He drops the illusion and the decay.
Well, this for starters.
And he puts his hand through one of the skin and bones.
Okay, so we
Ew.
need a vessel that's not going through decay. Right?
It's beyond me. I don't know. If I have... It's weird to speak about. If I have another vessel, that's... Wouldn't it start decaying anyways?
Not if you bring life into it.
I'd admit I don't know exactly the whole story behind it, but if it's a matter of vessels, that's a problem. We already know that Emerald is not, well, part of his own body. I feel his might be a bit more complicated as to what exactly happened there and with the other copies of him.
Copy.
But
Yes, he originally, or still is, technically a simulacrum.
it's kind of a whole thing. I don't even know that he could tell it to you straight.
it does mean
What
there's
if-
another option. Surely
What
it's
if
not
Emerald
all
can
the
create
same
a
body.
copy of me?
That's what I'm thinking.
It may also be possible,
As Tyr speaks up.
he could do the same thing that was done for me. Lao Fei was able to use the spell clone, create a copy of me. My soul,
Did it create?
that's the only reason I'm standing here right now. Odin killed me. I was very dead. And with the spell, my soul should have funneled into my other body. But sadly, Odin bent the Valkyries against their will to capture my soul and put it in one of those lanterns. Until, of course, all of you saved it. And gave my soul back to my body. That could also be an option.
I think the important thing is that there is options.
Yes. But I appreciate conversation. That's not why we're here. I think we should focus more on our mission now than cloning myself.
I don't think we should not also focus on this, but I'm more so wanting to do what you would want to do. You would
It's
take some time
also-
to think about it, but we're going to help you.
I know.
You are just as important.
I know that I want to restore myself. But for the time being, I have noticed that in this state, I have some advantages. One of which is I cannot feel pain.
That must be nice. Fighting hurts,
was.
man.
I also do not have to sleep, or eat, or drink. Which,
You're also not a weapon. We're not looking to only make ourselves as advantageous as we all could be. I
I
know
think
you
for the
cannot feel
time being
pain,
we
but
should.
you also cannot feel. I think
we're
that's a
fighting
dangerous
very
road to
strong
go down.
enemies. For the time being, it is an asset.
Not feeling can also be a detriment. Just because you can't feel pain doesn't mean that's a bad thing. You need to know what hurts so you don't get hurt more. Look, we'll do whatever you want to do. But just loop us in so we can bounce the ideas around. You know?
Of course.
Bianca looks a little concerned, but she means what she said.
Well, magic people have a way of twiddling their thumbs for a few days and then suddenly having a breakthrough, so why don't we just wait for Alaric to do that, and then you just think about it.
So where are we headed exactly? To the tavern for the night?
I believe we're staying here for the night and we'll head off tomorrow morning.
Okay, good, because I'm going to keep playing with this. She's
There's
just like...
plenty of food for you to eat as well.
There is! There's a lot of food here, and apparently it's Iverian food, and we're going to be eating Adarashi food tomorrow, and I don't know what that is. What if I don't like it? And I'm stuck with it.
Ajax slightly gets sad. His ears droop a little
Aw.
bit as he's like, "Oh shit, I can't eat any of this.
That's
I
right.
can't
Imagine
taste it."
Carasel's like aggressively eyeing Cecily from like halfway across the room. Like maybe not the time.
She's just like doing this with the magic hand, not
Ajax
noticing.
is like,
Sooni's gonna
"Aw."
say, Cecily, what food do you not like?
Oh.
You're not exactly the pickiest eater.
Okay, first off. With a weird tone. I don't think that's a bad trait. Second off, I don't know, man. I kind of had to eat the same thing for 5 years, so.
Yeah, live a little.
Well, I mean, but like, what if they don't?
You'll like
She'll-
it.
She'll turn to Suna. What is bread like here? Is it the same?
It's mostly rice. If you're speaking about for a sort of accent to a meal, I mean, there are some other grains, but for the most part, most dishes are complemented with rice as opposed to bread. We do have, it's a dessert, but they are steamed rolls.
Okay, so steamed rolls for dessert, but the rice for
Typically,
other
rice and fish. Being an island nation, a lot of fish. There's some livestock on
rice.
Clan Akai, but that's mostly reserved for the nobles, for the wealthy clan people.
Rice and fish, yeah.
Lots of rice and fish. It's very good.
Oh.
It's seasoned very well, but it is mostly fish.
Well, I eat a lot tonight. She's just gonna start gathering things.
What time is it right now?
It is about 8 o'clock.
What time does Ossian get off?
Oh.
8 o'clock. He's got 5 minutes left on the clock.
I want to know what benefits they have.
Ajax is going to realize the time, and he is going to walk over to Ossian.
Ah, yes. Master Ajax, what can I help you with?
I have some questions for you, if you don't mind.
Oh, yes, of course. I would be more than happy to answer them.
Question 1. How long have you been undead?
My memory isn't exactly the strongest. If I were to guess, you see him kind of get a little nervous. Maybe 200 years old? At a guess. Little less, little more. I'm not exactly sure.
Do you enjoy being undead?
Well, like any state of living, or not living, it does have its advantages and disadvantages. For one, it is great that if I do stumble down the stairs, which happens frequently, it doesn't hurt. That's quite nice. I do miss not being able to taste food. But also, every single day when I, finish my work and I'm off the clock, so to speak. It is a silly expression, I understand, but Alric believes that for a lot of us, it's best if we have some regiment. We have some duties we need to tend to. Keep us busy so we aren't just shuffling and wandering around the entire time. He believes that is what is the contributing factor of undead madness, as he calls it. You know, the typical type of undead creature. It's from not having a strong enough structure in their life. He believes, of course. I don't know if I do, being undead myself, but I do think he may be onto something, as when I get done for the day, I have the rest of the time in the evening until the sunrise to do whatever I want. I don't need to sleep. So I can go wander out in the forest. I can go fishing if I want on the coastline. Of course, I throw the fish back into the water. I have no need to eat them, but I have a life, and it is peaceful and serene. I don't remember much of before, but my life now I like. It's peaceful.
Third question. In the 200 years you've been unalive, was there ever a time where you felt that you wanted to attack or hurt people against your will?
No, not for me. It may be different for me considering the type of undead that I am. Some of my, co-workers, I suppose, is the best thing to call them. They
sometimes they have a harder time containing their hunger. They try to eat the food that Alaric provides, but it just doesn't satiate them. So, sometimes they try and take a bite out of their other co-workers or out of Alaric, and of course that doesn't stand. Alaric gives us free will. We're not under his control after he creates us. So, those that do decide to live a different life, Alaric doesn't keep them around. He doesn't want them hurting the people. So for some of the undead that do not wish to live here, he makes sure to send them somewhere where they won't be able to hurt anyone. I understand it may sound cruel, but at least in this way they get some semblance of a choice if their life was taken from them unwillingly. I know that for most cadavers that come here, he uses magic like Speak with Dead to see if they do want to come back and have a second chance, even if it is in this state. I hope that answers your question.
It does.
Very good. And
those are all of my questions.
With that, the sun has set, and I am off the clock. If you have any other questions, you'll have to direct them to the other individuals that are currently working. It has been wonderful getting to meet all of you. Yes?
Have a good evening.
Thank you, Ajax. Have a good evening to the rest of you, and enjoy your sleep. And you can see he kind of takes the a bit of the robe off that he had covering a lot of the bones and hangs it up on a rack next to the door. And you can see that he goes over to the stairs and heads up, and you can see him grab like a small fishing rod, and then just through this window right here, you can see him cross the bridge to the western side of the island, even further away from people.
Bro just gets to play Animal Crossing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I mean, that's not bad.
Alrighty. So, with that, you all are here. And you eat the food that is provided for you by the servants. All of it is provided in a way where it doesn't reek of undeath. It doesn't, and nothing like that. It is good food. Well prepared and clean. So, my question to all of you is, as you eat and as you finish up, is there anything you wanted to do specifically before heading to bed?
Tiny question.
Yeah.
For a big man. Cecily has never seen Tyr eat.
Yeah.
How does he eat? I just want to know.
Yeah, he's not like a pig. Like, he doesn't like shove food. He takes a lot of small bites. Mm-hmm. A lot of small bites.
He's just eating for a long time.
Yeah. Okay. Just like, he'll, grab like one small little chunk of like, one small little thing of roast beef. Like, he'll pick it up with a fork and he'll kind of like, it's like a little thing. Reach over, he'll sort of grab a strawberry, chew on it for a little bit, block of cheese.
He's gonna be here for like hours.
Yeah, it takes him a while. He's got to slowly digest. He has a
right.
He has a sensitive stomach.
Yeah, my own dad does that. He'll eat real slow, and then he'll sit here like this for like 20 minutes. Be like, I'm digesting.
You gotta compartmentalize the food.
Yeah. She's just gonna kind of find that amusing, because she's gonna be like a third of his size and just like just on by his side the whole time. And be eating just as long.
Yeah.
That's funny. You know what? I do have something I'm gonna do. Maybe as we're all winding down for bed.
Okay.
Bianca would like to at least have a semi-private conversation with Carasilla. Not like we have to like step away to our own room, but just enough where it's a conversation between the two of them.
Yeah, we'll say that most of the eating would take place in here. where the tables are and the chairs. I guess not chairs, but the seats.
I'm also so curious why we have a battle map. Norbit.
So we can say that, you know, you and Carasilla could just kind of like, step outside a bit.
Yeah.
It's not like you're like walking away from everybody. Oh, you're already going. Okay, go.
I accidentally picked up everybody. Oh god. Oh
Here,
my
I got
god.
you.
Hold on.
I got you.
Oh,
There you
thank
go.
you.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
I'm here to help.
That was you scooching out of the table. Just like,
Yeah,
Just
squeeze
gonna-
right past you, all
just gonna-
Midwest like.
Yep.
Whoopsie daisy. Yeah, as they just take a step outside, Bianca's gonna ask, I don't mean to get right to the point, but what do you want to do about Draven?
Well, I feel like he's left himself very little options at this rate. And so, if there was any chances for him, I don't think there really are anymore. And I also wouldn't be surprised if he continues to, well, stay as determined, I suppose, to put it, as he has been. And I think that's even more compounded with the fact that he's been working with Laura Khan as well.
Right. I agree. I think regardless of if his intention or his heart was longing to return to the Dark One or not, unfortunately it's happened again. And he's too dangerous.
Agreed.
I mean, what he was able to do within the Children of the Flame, and then how quickly he was able to turn everything around again and gain just as much sway in a totally different land with totally different allies. I didn't know him, but you did, and that blows my mind. I would have never saw it coming.
I'm not too sure that he ever really left. I mean, we saw him, yes. And he seemed nothing more than really a lost person, a lost soul. Unaware of himself, but I don't know, I think there's a good part of me that worries that was just an act from the start. A way to get any ire off him. I mean, considering he was well detained and that Hrothgar was there to deal with him as well. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just a way of weaseling his way out in some way. I mean, it's definitely not out of character to use up people's good graces like that. To act as if he's one thing and really act as another. And so I don't know how much of a change there's ever really been. Pivot perhaps, but I don't know if it's ever been anything more than that.
then I guess that's it then. If you think there's no other options, I mean, I want to back you up. And I feel the same way you do. I just wanted there to be a moment where you could express if you had any concerns or doubts, but if you are certain, then it sounds like he just needs to be removed.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm not sure how much certainty there is. Like I said, I'm not sure if the whole memory wife was ever truly real. But I also think that he's been able to do enough harm. Far too much harm. And if I'm certain of anything, it is that it will have to end here.
Are you beyond just the feelings of what we must do? Are you ready to face him? I know we've ran into him a few times, but it's been a complicated situation. Is there anything you need from us? From me?
I mean, I want to be clear, it's not exactly like we're ever friends or anything. If anything, we've only really butted heads since we've known each other. I don't know, it's wrong. It's wrong what he's done under the name of the light as well. And I hate that in some way I've helped with it as well. And for it to be an Atarashi of all places, just... I don't know.
None of it is your fault. You don't blame yourself, do you? Do you?
I mean, I don't know if there's necessarily a person to blame for any of it. So, sad, I suppose.
Just don't carry any guilt with you. We always are doing what at least seems the most correct in each moment. Even if it doesn't turn out the way we think. And then how you react is also a tell of character. We're here to make things right now. You've always been for the light. We've all felt it.
Yeah. I suppose you're right. I want to make sure that this is truly an end to it. I mean, like I've said, it's not the first time seeing him. Mm-hmm. And it's not like the first time, it's the first time I've seen him do terrible things. And so...
I'm sure it's not easy, though. And I know you previously would have more wind to shoulder all this with. You don't have to hold it all yourself, okay?
Matt. Listen, I will be happy as long as this is an end. Like I said, I think it's been going on for too long. And so as long as we can do that.
We can. This is the end.
Then good.
But I don't think I had anything else. But Joe's not here.
All right, so
Yeah, what are-
Carousella and Bianca.
Oh, thank you, DM.
Yeah, so
Step in.
Cecily is playing a game of Catch the Hand with Suni right now. I just put that in the chat.
Oh, okay.
So Bianca,
Just so-
What the hell is
Felicity.
catch the hand?
So
like,
she
just throwing a
has-
It's when you
mage
punch
hand?
each other in the face.
No, she
Oh, one
catching
hand.
hands. No,
You
she
catch these hands.
she has her mage hand floating around, and Suni has to try to grab it.
Oh,
She's
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
I
see.
was
I
thinking
see.
like
Okay,
a
he's
mutual
trying
exchange, but I'm
really
just like, how's
hard.
it a game if like Cecily controls it, you know? But yeah, if it's just fucking with Suni, then yeah, that checks.
Yeah,
That's all it means. Yeah. There's no. It's not.
Suni is almost
not a
like a
sport.
cat trying to like with the like laser beam, you
Mhm.
know, trying to catch it. He's pretty quick, but apparently this mage hand is quicker.
Well, helps that it's non-corporeal, you know, like.
It's true.
Yeah, that's really what's really helping here is that it's not catchable.
Cecily, you said this thing is I can hold it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Just keep trying.
I swear to gods, I was catching it, and it feels like
I-
it's going right through my hands.
Listen, man. You should feel the magic in this place. It's crazy. And she's just gonna be shooting it back and forth.
That's so funny.
What is this game you're playing?
Well, it's called Catch the Hand. Can you catch the hand? And she'll float it in front of your nose.
If Aiden catches his hand, I'm gonna be so upset.
What is the purpose of this game? I just need to catch this hand.
You try to catch this hand. Yeah. And she'll yank it away. That was pretty fast, though.
Go again.
Okay. She'll bring it forward.
Ajax
I
is
don't know.
going to sit there until he catches the hand because he is a competitive person and he will not be bested by a magical hand.
I mean,
He never
He's
needs to
also-
sleep.
Do you want to, like, we can both roll sleight of hand, and if you beat me, it becomes obvious it's an illusion? Because I feel like...
It's an illusion.
yeah, you can't
You can't-
actually catch it.
you can't grab it. I just want to see if Ajax... Because, like, I imagine Suni's been grazing it, right? I want to see
Yeah.
if Ajax catches it well enough that it's, like, everyone can finally call bullshit.
If I catch
Oh,
its hand.
dude. Look at that. Look at that.
At one point, Ajax is literally so irritated that when the hand moves away, he conjures a hammer and throws it at it and misses and then pulls it back.
Jeez.
Oh my
It's bad.
gosh.
Cecily's gonna fucking, like, spring up, just like, jeez, dude.
I imagine it like
This is-
bashed it. It's not like Carousel just gonna get up, but just
No, it didn't
do
bash
whatever
anything.
it
He,
did. Okay.
he recalled it before it hit anything.
Okay, I was gonna say just the
I know,
rolling
I
hands
was like,
around.
are we like throwing weapons? This
No,
poor
it was
guy.
like throw like 5 feet, call it back.
I see,
Oh
I
my
see.
God.
Well, that is annoying.
It is annoying. Gosh,
Thank you.
Cecily,
Why?
that hand is so fast.
Yeah.
Again.
Take a lot of pride. Oh, okay. Take a lot of pride in this.
We don't need to keep going, Joe.
Yeah,
This is not important.
we were playing catch these hands.
Well, I mean, if you're here, she'll want to play it with Tyr too.
Okay, you play it
I
with
feel
Tyr.
like Tyr would not be dumb enough.
No,
All
he
right.
knows.
Yeah.
Is it like front
He
hand,
might-
backhand?
No, so the question more so is, would Tyr go along with the prank? Cecily has been fucking with Suni and Ajax for like the past 10 minutes playing Catch the Hand, where they try to catch her mage hand, and they literally cannot because it's incorporeal.
Yep.
So the question is more like if she turned to Tyr and was like, well, you want to give it a go? Does he? Because he would know.
Yeah, he would go along with it for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, these two are pranksters.
Prank.
They
Okay.
finally have teamed up, and now they're making you eat the dirt. But
all right. So, with that, catch the hands over.
okay.
All of you,
Damn it.
all of you head to bed, right?
Yeah.
Probably
No.
the wind watches, because the dark one always gets in our brains when we all sleep.
Okay. I mean, I guess. So, yeah, you guys can do that.
Fucking K. I mean, we don't have to RP them. We're just saying.
What is the? There's a lot of hostility there, Felicity.
I am literally always offended.
Okay. Well then, sorry. So what are the watches?
Ajax is on all of them.
Okay.
Yeah. You're on.
Okay, we'll take one.
You're
We'll
on,
take
like,
the
B
first
shift.
one.
To Bianca will. Okay. Bianca
I'll
takes the
watch
first one.
with Bianx.
Okay. Guess
I'll go with
Ajax is on
Carasilla.
the middle watch. Oh, Ajax will go with Carousel. Is that what you said?
Well, I mean, Ajax is awake for all of them, but he will specifically, if Carasilla will allow him, go on watch with Carousel.
Yeah. You'll
Suni
see
and
Cecily
Sunan
Bianx.
three.
Ajax, he stinks,
Nice.
literally.
Stinky
Alright,
boy.
So Ajax is gonna go drown himself. Oh, he can't. He's just gonna go stand in the
Okay.
It's gonna be that
the
scene from
river.
Pirates of the
Buddy.
Caribbean.
Yeah, but he's not gonna be walking. He's just gonna sink and just stay there.
He's
Me
underwater.
and Suna are on third watch.
Yep.
Ooh. That
That'll
didn't
be-
mean anything. I
Yeah,
just-
I know.
I can't wait for you to play
love vessels.
Suni.
Me too.
Okay, so Ajax and Cecily are not on the first watch. Instead, it is Bianca and Cecily that are on the first watch.
Yeah.
So,
That's what we said.
yep. So Bianca and Cecily, you can see Ajax. He moves out of the room. He goes to brood somewhere. Carasilla heads to sleep to catch the first couple hours of her meditation. Suni and Suna both need to head to get a full night's rest before catching the third shift early in the morning. So with that, the two of you are left alone-ish. There still are skeletons and zombies that wander around, cleaning up after dinner. You can hear the rummaging of dishes and water as they clean the plates and silverware that was used. You can see them bring out fresh linens and pillows for all of you to have a comfortable rest. And they just wander throughout, patrolling, making sure that no vagabonds or bandits wander their way in here. So with that, the two of you are by yourselves, ready for your night's watch. Would you like to talk about anything?
What you got, Cecily?
She's gonna be her just usual little gremlin self. She's gonna be like flopping the sheets, be like, "Man, these are legit," and just be like feeling them. But she'll eventually settle down. And I hate to keep asking questions about the guy, but he's 1,000 years old and 8 feet tall. Does he sleep? What does he do?
Yeah, he
I
sleeps.
actually don't know.
He's
Okay.
sleeping.
Yeah, he's sleeping.
Yeah.
Another thing she didn't know.
Yeah. He's,
Okay.
he's like takes up the entire width of one of these like one of the octagonal walls. Octagonal? I don't know. Of the
Sure.
shape of this stop sign shaped room. You can see his entire length is like the length of one of the walls. So he's just like up against one of them.
Yeah, Cecily's gonna look at that and just be like, wow. You could fit 8 orphans there.
I would not have. thought of that. But I suppose you're correct.
I am.
Yeah, sorry, didn't mean to doubt you and your authority on the subject.
Yeah, we ran out of beds all the time. My friend and I bed shared once. That was... Well, it was kind of a bad few months, but it was okay.
I'm sorry about everything if I've never said it outright. Feel like you're a person that doesn't really want pity, though, so...
You mean sorry for, like, my whole life? Just like in one go?
Any hardships that you've dealt with, I guess. I mean, I hope more recent events have been positive, and I definitely hope that your whole life isn't something I should be sorry about. But, I mean, you often bring up the hardships, and I'm glad you're communicating them. I don't know if you are beginning to find any peace now that you're discovering your past, but I'm sorry you had to go through everything that you did.
Well, it happened. About as much as I can tell you right now. Still don't want to talk about that stepmom I had right before you all met me, but I mean, I'm an orphan. Head to toe. It's like a whole culture. And sometimes you just start talking to somebody else and you kind of just know that they were in the system at some point. I don't see any point in denying that. Even though it weirds people out when I, point at that guy over there and say that he's the size of 8 orphans. But honestly, you know what the more abnormal part of that is? Him.
I don't think it's the orphan thing that always weirds people out. I think sometimes people just don't always know what to say. They may want to bring you comfort, but feel like maybe their words are not appropriate in the moment, or maybe they think, like I said, that you're not someone who wants pity. I mean, you know, as well as anybody, orphans aren't rare.
Especially in this business. Practically making them. I mean, if anything, I'm sorry the rest of you went into all this shit with something to lose. I only had things to gain. You would have thought. Spend every day getting the shit kicked out of you by evil monsters. Watching people get ripped apart on some battlefield, hearing about things that are so terrible you couldn't have even imagined them before you heard of them. Well, I was in a bad enough place when we started that actually ended up being pretty good for me. That's low.
You don't feel like you have anything to lose now?
I feel like I have a lot to lose now. Which I guess makes me get it a little more than I ever did. I already didn't want to get wrapped up in all this shit, you know that, but Honestly, if I did have something to lose, I might have just run away. Wouldn't have been able to handle it.
Well,
I'm gonna tell you something really ridiculous.
lay it on me.
I really don't like rice.
Really?
No. And I didn't want to say anything because Suni and I just had this stupid fucking little thing about me being a picky eater, and I didn't want to prove him right or wrong or what. I don't know. Whatever. I didn't want to give him fuel. But yeah, I really don't like rice.
Well, I mean, that's more, you know, that's just a side dish. You can have other items, like plenty of fish, so.
Yeah. Don't really like fish either.
Oh, girl.
You
How
know,
are you gonna
it's
bring
really
that one to Poe?
what was that supposed to mean?
He's a water boy.
Does that mean I have to eat water?
No.
I think we'll fit.
I just meant. Sorry, I was trying to be funny. I'm not always the best at being funny. I get that. That's your guys' forte.
Nah, I mean you nail it every once in a while. Usually on accident though.
Anyway,
Natural charm.
she's like, sure. And then is like, I just was trying to say that Poe seems to be well liked by you. And just found it interesting that the connection. But
Did you see that shit Carosilla was doing to me yesterday?
I mean, Carosilla's not the one that made it obvious.
Yeah, she's just sitting there. She's just kind of stonewalled.
Hey, look. I know you think that we don't pay attention, but we've all been through a young age where things that seem really big and embarrassing potentially at the time just aren't. And me saying these words, you're gonna say she doesn't know shit, whatever, blah blah blah, but it's sweet. It's not embarrassing. Whatever it is. Just tell Poe I say hi once in a while, please.
I mean, it's not like I'm. Okay, yeah, I will. Just I don't want to fuck it up.
I'm not gonna tell you you won't. But what I can tell you is life is gonna be full of great highs and great lows beyond just everything that we've been dealing with. But whatever that turns out to be, whether it be a great high or a great low, there's plenty of fish in the sea. Even though you don't like fish.
So that was pretty good.
Oh,
Were
really?
you trying that time?
No.
Yeah, see?
The urge to say thank you, Barbie, needs to be suppressed right now.
I don't know. Whatever it is, I'm feeling. I mean, the only time I've felt anything like it was Tay. She was my friend back in the orphanage. The second time, I was 13, I think. We were just saying we were friends, but looking back, we were like super friends. You know what I mean? Like really close friends.
Yeah. I had friends like that. That didn't say what was going on, but kind of like yesterday where they were super obvious and everyone else knew, but no one brought it up because we knew they didn't want to talk about it. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you miss her?
Yeah, she ended up with some farmer dad. I think she's still somewhere in Water's Wake, but maybe farther west. I don't know. Get exactly what happened. She just was kind of gone pretty quick. She was the one that we, I don't know why I'm telling you this. This is... Oh, but she was the one that I bed shared with, because we were overflowing. She used to... I don't know. She knew all this. She was one of those kids that had a mom before, and was, it was fresh, I guess you could say. And I had just lost my middle mom, so I guess we bonded over that, and we would sometimes, tell each other bedtime stories that our moms used to tell us.
That's sweet.
Yeah. You know what the grossest part was? It was easier to fall asleep. When we were bed sharing. Not harder.
And why is that gross?
Because then I have to deal with what was going on. You know, if you never get close to somebody, you don't have to deal with what's going on. If you do, then it... You know what I mean?
Have you ever thought that maybe it'd be easier if you dealt with it?
No. Never thought of that.
It might be. I'm sure Poe would like to hear some of those bedtime stories. It might be easier for him to sleep.
Okay. Yeah, forget I told you that. It is, a level of personal I'm not gonna go to ever again. Never again. We're impersonal now. No feelings.
It would be easier if you faced those feelings, Cecily. You might feel better. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, she's gonna be just kind of sitting like this, kind of awkward the rest of the night, just sort of confused as to why she said all those things.
Okay. All right. So, with that, the two of you head to rest. Ajax, you wander back in to have your watch with Carasilla. So, as the two of you wake up, ready for your watch, well, as Carasilla, you break from your trance, and Ajax, you re enter the tower. The watch is yours to do with Jewel.
Any eventful wandering?
Place is beautiful.
It's a good thing you can still see things.
That is true. Did get both of my eyes back.
Huh. I suppose perk then.
Unfortunate that I cannot feel the breeze.
Well, it's a still night it seems, and so I'm not sure that there's much breeze to be felt.
How are you?
I mean, I'm fine. I agree, it's a beautiful place here.
Even with all of the undead walking around.
Well, I mean, I don't think they're too bad. Should also give you a little bit of a nudge.
Do I really smell that bad?
I think that it is pretty safe to say that there are plenty of people walking around that have smelled much worse and continue to smell much worse than you ever will.
That is a
I
very
wouldn't.
polite way of saying yes, but it could be worse.
It's a polite way of saying that it's not exactly unique. Perhaps the notes, yes, but people, all kinds of people will always be walking around.
You know, I
And
had a
so-
thought.
Alright.
Once everything's over, maybe I can retire here. In Austin, become good friends. Cycle out shifts.
I mean, could be a nice idea. Do you have any thoughts about what you would do after it all?
I've thought about it. I thought of it in life that I would retire the spear and shield, as the dwarves told me, and live somewhere back in Thurol, close to the coast, and retire. And I've thought about it now. after everything is said and done, don't know if I don't know if I want to keep on if we can't find a way to remove this. I'd like to be put to rest.
When life was sad, that makes me to hear. I don't want to talk you out of that. But we're also not there yet. And
No.
as I was saying before, we've yet to even begin to explore any options there may be. And so
I want to make
I don't think it's quite worth giving up on Thrall yet and returning there.
The only thing I want to make sure of is that if there are options, no one has to pay for it. I don't think I can go through with, even if there are, someone has to get hurt, or we have to do something very unethical, sacrifice something, even if it's not lives, but parts of someone. I don't want to go through with it. I want to enjoy the time I have back. And if I have to leave again, I want to leave with at least a good conscience.
You have a bucket list then?
Well,
I
going
mean-
back to Thrall was one of them. That's checked off.
I just think that it's worth having more than just fighting the Dark One, winning a war.
With Carasilla, that's what I wanted to do when I was alive.
It shouldn't be all you want.
I've
That's
done
all I
many
mean.
things in my life. I've accomplished many goals, titles. What I ultimately want to do is rest. That's all.
Right. Suppose I hope you get it in due time.
Of course. But we are talking about this as though it is going to happen tomorrow. We have a long journey ahead of us. Many things, obstacles in our way. I intend to be around. Hopefully much longer than I was previously. I don't plan on going anywhere now, Carasilla. And I
We
don't
don't
plan on
intend on
leaving.
letting you go anywhere. Let that be certain.
Oh, I know. I will only rest when I know that everyone is safe and the work is done. Until then, Well, I guess I should start thinking of a bucket list.
I think it's a good idea.
Why do they call it a bucket list? Did someone drop their piece of paper into a bucket at one point?
I believe the origin is a bit more grim than that. The idea that everything you are well, maybe it's not a story to think about right now. But there was another thing I did want to talk to you about.
Yes.
In the city we're going to, the port town. An old friend there. Cleric. I know we're looking for someone divine. I'm not sure that be any capability that she has. Don't want to give you false hope there. But I think you should talk to her. If not for a way to fix things, for just having someone else that's had such a divine connection.
If you think that it will help, then I will talk to them. If you trust this person, then I will trust them too.
I trust them with my life. But I believe she should still be there. Wasn't too long ago that she headed off, but I can promise you that she will care. She always has something to say.
Very well. Well. I think I'm going to sit outside for a while, if that's okay. I assume no one will be attacking inside of here. I'll patrol around.
Alright. Stay safe.
Of course.
And he'll get up and start walking, and just last thing he'll say,
Just call if you need me. I won't be far.
And vice versa.
he walks up.
Okie
He's gonna go practice his hammers and shit. Throw, pull back, and do some shit.
Yeah, practices combos, X, 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 triangle.
Yeah.
Triangle,
XX
left trigger,
down,
left
B
trigger.
square.
Yep.
Yep.
Two up, two down, left, right, B, A. So you practice that. Caracilla, you return to finish the rest of your trance, being the elf that you are. And Suna and Suni, they head into their watch. However, instead of sitting around and watching Felicity have a conversation as Suni with me,
What do you mean? That sounds fun.
we're going to pretend that happened. And
What?
instead,
What?
One little off comment. Suni's like, I know you like rocks, but like Elwyn can help me commune with rock.
Suni,
Okay.
are you going somewhere with this?
I thought you'd like to know.
Suni, I know you're connected to Elwyn.
We just haven't had a like conversation about it yet.
No, it was one of the first things we talked about when we first met.
Sorry,
near Richka.
amnesia runs in my whole backstory, so I think I think something.
That's
happened
okay.
there.
Do you want me to look into it for you to see if maybe there's some type of
That would be
herbal
great, actually.
remedies that could help
Yeah.
with the memory loss?
Yeah, I mean, I'm working on it. I saw him myself the other night.
I know. I heard. I was there when you were talking about it. Are you okay?
Oh.
You seem really off, Suni. And cut. Okay.
I was like, shit. Anyway, I'm done.
That was, guys,
That
that was the best thing to happen all night.
Oh
God.
So,
Ah.
Carasilla, as you head to sleep on this night, instead of being embraced by the normal sleep, that soft floating mismatch of memories, instead you hear the wind chimes, a noise that you know very clearly to mean this realm of dreams. As you open your eyes, you're still in Ulrich's tower, but much simpler. Not nearly quite as put together. Still in the middle of its construction. The base is there, the rocks that it was built upon are there. But the tower is still being constructed. You see two individuals. For one, you see Ulrich. He looks exactly the same as you had seen him before, as he looks now. You see him speaking to another man. The two of them speaking back and forth. You can see Ulrich say, "So, what do you think? It's coming together quite well, don't you think? Huh? I mean, look at it. It's great, right?" You can see the man say, "Yes, it is very impressive. I'm very excited to get started working in it when it's done." See Ulrich respond, "Why wait? I mean, we have floors, we have fish, I mean, we have food. I mean, all we need to do is make a teleportation circle and boom, any of the supplies we need, one quick flash away in Ivarion. I mean, listen, people at the college owe us quite a few favors. I think we can cash in on some of those, don't you?" You can see the man kind of smile and say, "I suppose you're right. I don't see why not, actually." Ulrich smiles and sort of puts an arm around his shoulder and says, "See, there you go. Now you're thinking like a wizard." So, what's the first thing you want to do? I mean, we have the place. It's ours. Nobody's going to bother us here. Well, hopefully nobody will bother us here. What do you want to do? And you can see the man a little bit more thin and lithe, long brown hair, and a short trimmed beard. You can see that he wears robes of burgundy and brown. And you can see his eyes have this just dull red glow to them, this sort of seeping magic from within. And you see him say, "Well, it's a little hard for me to think like a wizard after all. But I suppose, considering the ley lines are quite strong here, well, why don't we see what souls are lingering? What do you think?" See Ulrich look, say, "I think that is a very good idea. All right. Ready?" And you see the two of them begin to look at each other, and they begin murmuring these arcane incantations. And as they do, same as you saw from Cecily, the threads that would sort of come off of her when channeling magic before, you can see them there. Not as strong, interestingly enough. This is obviously in the past, but for some reason the ley line is weaker. You can see the threads still drag off of them as they pull these threads to each other and away, weaving this pattern around them. And you can see these spirits begin to coalesce and appear. You can see the two of them look to each other and smile. And you can see the man standing next to Ulrich sort of nod and is very happy with the magic, but immediately you can see the threads and the arcane concentration he was having on it snaps almost immediately as he sort of lurches over and he begins to cough and grip at his stomach. And Ulrich goes over and sort of grabs his shoulders and says,
"What's wrong? Are you all right?"
and you can see the man say,
I'm all right, Ulrich. It's just, I don't know. My heart, it's just not. It just aches sometimes. I'm fine. I'm sure.
See, Ulrich looks to him and says,
Ossian, you can be honest with me, all right? We're in this together. This is our tower, all right? Whatever's wrong, I'm sure there's no amount of magic that the two of us can't conjure to fix it. You just have to tell me.
And at that point, I'll share what Ossian looked like before. You can see Ossian sort of grip his stomach and sort of recoil a bit and roll his shoulders. No. I'm fine. I know that you had to spend a lot of time studying over old tomes to learn your magic, Ulrich, but it comes natural to me. My body is emboldened by the magic and the patterns I weave. I can handle it. See Ulrich sort of look to him and nod and say,
all right. Well, if you insist, Sorcerer Supreme, just don't forget I'm here, all right? Like I said, we're in this together.
You can see Ossian nod and say,
I know.
well, looks like we could maybe use a roof over our head at least. And Ulrich says, very good point. Let's do just that. And you can see the two of them begin to weave patterns to pretty much summon structures and sort of connect them into place. It exerts a great amount of strength from both of them, but something they do, and you can see them build the first tower that you currently sleep in. Now, Carasilla, with the gauntlet on, this is something you've never done before. You've never been within the dream world with the gauntlet on. And after witnessing that moment and the threads kind of fade and you find yourself in this just ethereal, endless realm of deep blue and purple and white hues, misty clouds swirling around you, you feel some semblance of freedom. What are you doing? What are you thinking?
I mean, I think after watching this whole exchange and knowing obviously the Ossian of today, I mean, kind of want to know what happened, right? Because I imagine it's connected to the ley line shit as well. So, I don't know if she's able to then follow that thread of time.
Yeah.
And see if she can find out.
Okay. Alrighty, so you do just that. You follow that thread. Several years pass. Eventually, the tower is finished. You see it begin to materialize in the way that you recognize it today. However, as the chimes begin to fade to just this slight undertone, you see Ossian standing out near the dock. At this point now, his skin looks withered. You know that it's only been a few years, but he looks as though he's aged 40. You can see he's just sort of standing out there, bracing most of his weight up against a cane, coughing a bit. The robes now, the same colors, still very fine, but you can see he wears this large cloak over his shoulders as he kind of shivers, standing outside. You can see Alric move out from behind the doorway and say,
Ossian. Ossian, the food is ready if you're ready to eat.
see Ossian is quiet, just looking into the water. Alric moves over.
Ossian. Friend.
And kind of places a hand on his shoulder, and Ossian sort of comes out of it and says,
Yes, I'm so sorry, friend. I was just distracted. I didn't mean to ignore you. Tell me, are we going to practice the weaves again today? I feel as though we still have a lot of work to do.
You can see Alric kind of take a sad look towards his friend and say,
Maybe later, friend. I think for now you need to eat, all right? Come on, let's go get something to eat, all right?
and as they walk in, you can see several undead creatures here, zombies and skeletons. As you can see Ossian sort of look, and he says,
Ulrich, did you do this on your own? I didn't remember the weaves. You figured it out then?
and you can see Ulrich say,
No, we figured it out. And quite the cost, I suppose. Come on, let's eat, all right?
you can see Ossian just in awe at the undead creatures here that have no urge for bloodlust. Some of them speak. In fact, there is one in particular that seems so lifelike. You're not sure what type of undead, but the only difference is their skin is just a little pale. Their eyes are blotted out in white as if they were blind. Their hair is a stark white, but they look alive aside from those traits. You can see Alric just look up towards her in awe. And you can see Alric with a little bit of contempt, but sits down and the two of them begin to eat. And you see they chit-chat a bit for magic or the arcane or recounting stories from when they were both students at the College of Hearthcrest in its infancy. And you can see Ossian say,
Ulrich, I don't, I don't, I'm not going to live much longer, am I?
you can see Alric sort of nod and say,
No, friend, you're not.
Ossian nods and says,
You know, I always thought it'd be you first. I don't know why, I just thought you'd be too buried in a book to notice something.
Ulrich kind of smiles and says,
Yeah, well, I wish.
Ossian looks to the undead around the room with a great sense of pride and says,
Do you think you're ready? If our deal is still in agreement, then yes, I'll do it. But only if you're sure. Ossian nods and says, well, even if I can't taste the cider from Wheat Hill ever again, I'd prefer to spend the rest of eternity with my best friend.
See Ulrich smile very genuinely and say,
I personally think you're making a mistake, but if that's your wish.
Ossian nods.
And Ulrich says, well, then I suppose you better enjoy your final meal.
Ossian looks down at the collection of items from Iverion. You recognize the stew that he eats now is the same one that he served to all of you earlier. That same pot roast. See, he savors every bite, savors every last sip of the cider from Wheat Hill. And he stands. And Ulrich stands with him, and the two of them hug. And Ulrich walks him to his bed, and you see Ossian laid down to rest. And Carasilla, the next few moments happen rather instantaneously, where you see him laid down, and then there is this jump, almost, where you see the chest falls, rise and fall and rise and fall very quickly, thousands of breaths in a second, and then one final exhale. You see the body tense up, the hand gripping around the cane, and you can hear those bones within just clicking just a bit. Ulrich walks back into the room.
You two. Carry him to the table, please.
And you see them walk up the stairs, up to the room where you'd been experimenting before. You see him put on the gloves, put on his apron, and prepare his tools. And you see the ritual. You see the magic as he casts it. And you see Ulrich give a small part of himself into this corpse of Ossian. You can see Ossian come back to life, initially sort of very obviously undead. Jaw slacked, eyes rolling in the back of the head, limbs loose, as if there were no bones within. You see a little bit more time play out. Ossian relearns how to walk, how to move, how to hold, eventually how to speak, how to communicate. You see the path and the journey he went through. And you can feel that thread begin to wither and expire as you reach the present. Carasilla, with that, you can feel your trance beginning to waver. And you feel as though now that you've done this once, it may be easier for you to explore the world of dreams later. So, eventually, you feel your eyes open as the sun from outside cascades down on you. You look up. You can see everyone slowly begins to wake. And you look to see Ossian back there in his robe as all of the party begins to wake. And he says,
Yes, hello, everyone. Good morning. I hope you all slept extraordinarily well. I was just wondering if there was anything I could get you for the road before you leave. Some breakfast, perhaps?
Sure, why not? A little breakfast before we head out?
I am
Yeah.
fine.
Cecily's
Thank
going to
you.
be so happy for food. Yeah, she's going to be in tonal whiplash to whatever Kara's going on. She's going to be so ready.
Very good. I overheard your fears last night, Cecily. I made sure to, when I returned from my endeavors the evening, prepared some flour and bread. There'll be some toast and jam, so you can at least have a little bit before you head out.
Oh, that's so... Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Oh, thank you. She's going to, like, go up and, like, hold his hand.
This the skeleton just.
Yeah, just... Thank you.
Of course.
Gotta clean out the bread pockets. She's gonna be ruffling around a little bit.
And you can see he turns and he leaves, departs back down to the cavern where all of you had come from before, and it seems where most of the food is stored.
I mean, I'll say Carousel is just watching him, obviously, as he's doing
Yeah.
that. But also, like, from that kind of zombification, like, does it seem like it's still him, or is it, you know, it's just his corpse, you know?
Kind of.
Like, does there seem to be anything of the original Ossian left?
Yeah, there does seem to be small things, small ticks, you know? The way that he walks, the way that he moves, the way that he talks to a degree. It all, the way he speaks too. I mean, all of it seems, it's just an echo, though. He doesn't have the same character, and being somebody who is well-versed in people, he definitely doesn't have the same spirit anymore. Not even thinking about the same, like the sort of metaphysical sense, but just his personality isn't the same. It's there, but it fades in and out.
And that's rough. Yeah, Castle's just sitting there. I think it's that thing where it's just like when you have like a really like vivid dream, you just out it for a hot second. I think it's that just amplified by like 1,000 times, you know?
Carousel is just blinking real hard in the corner.
Castle's zonked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Cecily's so wrapped up with the bread and jam thing, she's just gonna think you're sleepy. Like she has no idea.
eventually, Ossian returns. And you can see that he brings a platter of tea, milk, water, as well as some small breakfast items. Bringing each of them to you individually, and then eventually to you, Caracilla, bringing you a small cup of tea and says,
Caracilla, is there anything you wanted?
No, it's alright. Thank you.
Well, very well. If you insist. If not, I'll leave it on the table, just in case you change your mind. You see, he kind of looks at you. And just for a brief moment, you're not sure if it's because of the ley lines or the gauntlet or what. You feel this thread between the two of you. And you see just these small cracks or imperfection in his skull illuminate with a similar reddish gold magic that was in his eyes before. And you can see he kind of shakes his head and says, yes. I need to go check to make sure that Ulrich isn't buried in his books too much. Sometimes he gets a little carried away. I think one day it'll be the death of him. And you see he kind of turns and heads up to the study. Okay. So with that, all of you eat breakfast. You have your funds necessary to procure your passes. As all of you finish eating, Ulrich and Ossian return, the two of them walking in tandem. Ulrich enters the room that all of you slept in and they're currently eating in and says, well, it was a great honor to have you all in the, in my tower. Oh, in this tower, I suppose I should say. Is there anything else all of you need from me? Hopefully not another loan. Small joke. An expensive joke, but a small one.
I mean, I believe we have more than enough. Thank you so much.
Very good. The last thing I'll do, in case you're in a tight situation, are any of you aware of the spell Teleportation Circle?
Oh yeah, no, I just got that one.
Very good. I will give you a scroll with the runes to my Teleportation Circle, so should something go horribly wrong, you can come back here.
Sweet. Yeah, we got like 4 get out of jails now, so look at this.
Very good. No. Hand you the scroll. As all of you are preparing to leave, Tyr will say, to all of you and Cecily, I think it would be best if I stay here for the time being. I fear as though I may be, and he looks down at his form, a little more recognizable than I would like. I can work from here and communicate with Lao Fei and hopefully Heimdall to organize a meeting between all of you and him. And hopefully from that point, we can find some common ground with Odin and Thor.
Well, I don't know how long we'll be, but I hope we'll be back before too long.
I'm sure you will be. And if you just happen to miss me that much, you have the means to return now.
Yeah, but I don't want to abuse it.
Ulrich goes, honestly, I don't think you could abuse it any more than it already has.
Well, okay. Just, keep in touch. Let me know how it goes.
He nods.
And I don't know, stay safe.
Well, I think that's much easier for me to do than for you. All of you, be very careful. If Draven Hunt and any other dark friends have infiltrated these lands, I can only imagine the troubles you'll run into. Be careful.
Cecily will, start to leave with everybody else, but she'll stop herself and turn back and give them a hug before they go.
Yeah. And he'll squeeze back and sort of pat you on the back of the head. And with that, you leave the tower, right?
I mean, as they're heading out, Carousel will kind of, just say like a thank you to Alric. And then it will just say, you built a very beautiful place here, both of you. Just give a little smile.
He nods and says,
Thank you. The compliment is appreciated. It wasn't all my idea. I had quite a bit of help.
I know.
you see him just, his eyes squint a bit, but he decides not to press in that moment.
She'll give a little wink, but she'll head out with everyone else.
You can see Carasilla, just because of your passive perception that you have, as you're leaving, crossing the drawbridge that goes over the water, you do hear Ulrich lean over to Ossian and say,
"Who's gleaming? They always know something that you don't know, and I do not like that."
And Ossian goes, "Me too," as the two of them turn around and
beautiful.
depart. And in that moment, Carasilla, you do hear, it fades in and out, but sometimes Ossian still is there. It's just not always.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Cute, but rough.
Yeah. He's sad. Okay, so
Oh.
alrighty. So with that, you depart from the wizard's tower and descend into the world of Otarashi. So I'm just trying to find crazy.
Here we go.
There was just something I wanted to.
I hope we can find some cherries along the way. We might be on the wrong
Yeah, just a wee bit.
Fuck the mission. Cherry
Yep.
mission now.
Yep.
We go to Akai
picking.
now.
We're ready.
Yeah, I mean, we're ready for cherries.
Well,
That's
you read the episode title.
Alrighty. So, with that, all of you head out. Oh no, where is that? This is the worst, dude. Oh, here we go. Okay. So, you head out into the lands of Clan Shiroi. As you do, you can feel this serenity. The lands themselves seem to be incredibly at peace. Even this close to the ley lines, the magical ley lines, nature is vibrant here. Seems to have a life of itself. And as you're walking along, you see small clusters on the ground where most of the area around you are these deep green tones, large, sprawling, jungle-like trees. Every once in a while on the ground, you see these blossoming, like pink and purple and white blooms emerging, these incredibly large flowers. And you see Suna sort of point down to it and say, those are known as Hane's blossoming breath. Same as how Jormungandr and Thrall have their own deities of power. Otarashi has theirs as well. And, well, Hane is the name that whenever she makes herself known is what she chooses to go by. But in most texts, people know her as Sakuya. She is known for the blossoms, life, rebirth. She's gentle. She helps calm the others when they get too angry or when they demand, well, when they want to interact with the people of Otarashi. She helps keep things tranquil. I think that's a good sign.
That's beautiful, and they're beautiful as well.
I'm going to be asking a lot of questions about social customs while we're here soon. Question number one. Is it bad if I want one? Can I just pluck it?
You should not pluck them.
Good thing I asked. I really was about to just do it.
Oh, that would not have been good. Thank you for asking, though. It'd be like if you found a shrine to Paylor, and there was gold somebody had put in the offering bowl, and you took the gold.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's weird how stuff like that works, you know? Like, she'll point to the flowers on her arm. I love these, and that's why I rip them out of the ground. Huh. Maybe I should think about that. Oh, well, I'll do that later.
Yeah, you should.
So,
Cameron, you're welcome. Sorry.
as all of you leave Alric's abode and you begin to walk past the Hane's blossoming flowers, you are immediately greeted as the forest and trees begin to break around his tower by this expansive vista of towering karst that stretch so high up into the sky. The limestone cliffs jutting out from the emerald canopies. These stone giants, they are reminiscent of these hands reaching out of the earth, stretching up towards the sky. You can see the limestone towers, like skyscrapers, are covered in different shades of green and white and pink, purple, covered in the blessings of Hane. You can hear the cacophony of bird calls as you walk throughout the lands of Shiroi. It feels so nice. Every once in a while, when the sun is beating down a little bit hard, right as you're about to exhale a little bit more, you can feel a shift in the wind. A group of leaves shift and move to cover you from the sun. You breathe in just a little bit easier without it beating down on you. Your path forward is marked by a cobbled road. It's worn, it's weathered, but it will lead you straight to your destination. You see signposts every once in a while at intersections that lead to different areas of the sea level regions of Shiroi. But you can see, for the most part, the nature around you is unkempt. It is free. It's allowed to grow where it pleases. You can see the nature almost, it's not trimmed from the road, it just chooses not to go there. You begin to make your way towards Kishori, the small village. You walk for 3 or 4 hours. Over this time, are there any conversations, or all of you just taking in the sights and sounds of this peaceful place?
I don't have anything in particular, just taking it in.
Yeah. Ajax doesn't have anything either.
Okay, all right, and that is okay. Suni doesn't have anything, right, Felicity?
You know, now that you mention it. No.
All right, cool.
Good.
All righty. So, with that, all of you have, sorry, I was just looking for one thing. You continue your journey. You know that it's maybe 8 to 12 hours of walking. Not at a very quick pace, but it's just a lot. But you all are used to it. Traveling. You have small passive conversations just to fill the air, and if not, the silence is, it's not deafening, it's just serene. However, eventually the sounds of the forest slowly begin to fade. The blossoming petals, Hane's blessing, you can see they also disappear. They are no more. You can see Suna say, "That's not good. Evil's near. Be ready."
Evil, like the Dark One, or something else?
I don't know. Hane, she doesn't like violence. So wherever we're at, violence happens here.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
Bianca will follow orders and get out her bow.
Yeah, Ajax is gonna survey the area,
Okay.
not leaving the party. He's gonna look around.
Yeah, make a perception check.
Can Suni help him? I feel like Suni's good with this stuff, but I don't know.
Perception. I don't think his wisdom's too high. Let's see. Is he proficient in it? No, he's not.
I should have. Okay, never mind.
Anyone else proficient in perception to give me the help action? No? Okay.
I can help. I got that proficiency.
All right, Carousel is helping. Luckily, she said it before the dice hit the. All right, an 11.
Oh, well, what the fuck?
Ajax,
Jesus Christ.
you
That's
scan, actively looking for something as you know something is near. The only thing you notice, Ajax, is as you are approaching, you're nearing a crossroad. And you can see one man sitting, interceding himself between the path towards the village you're trying to go to and the crossroads. You can see he wears silver armor exposed at the shoulders. He wields this giant greatsword, and you can see the sword has sort of a handle halfway throughout the length of the blade itself, almost as like a cleaver that he can grip onto. And you see the man, as all of you approach, it seems Ajax, he notices the six of you at the same time. So my question is, how close do all of you get? You're probably, 15, 20 feet away from him at this point.
I mean, he notices us, but does he seem to be like any kind of intent there? Like whether it's, hostile or not? I know he's got a big fuck off weapon, but like...
Yeah, it definitely seems hostile.
Okay.
I mean, he's where we need to go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
How far is he?
15, 20 feet.
I think Suni would join Ajax probably on the front line, following maybe Ajax's lead, and then Bianca's gonna be maybe right behind him. Both of them. Mid-range bitch,
Okay.
I think. Oh, sorry. I'll say what I'm gonna say once everybody's said what they're doing.
Let me go ahead and...
What? I guess Cecily.
I will just stay where the fuck I am. Be ready to attack.
I
Okay.
mean, I guess we would be on this map, but like, seeing as far as we know at this time, it's only one guy. Carousel would be ready to cast Suggestion as soon as they get within 30 feet.
Okay.
Ajax is gonna say something.
So as all of you get about there, you can see the man, he sort of like kicks the sword at his feet and sort of heaves it over his shoulder and says,
Here's what's going to happen. You're going to drop all of your valuable possessions. I know you just came from that wizard's tower. You're going to give us everything.
Ajax looks at him and steps a little bit closer.
No. Here's what's going to happen. You and your friends, because you did mention us, so now you've lost your element of surprise, are going to turn around and walk away. This is your only warning. Please, do not make us kill you, and I can promise you, it will be quick.
so he kind of looks you up and down.
Not the first time I've killed a Leonin. And besides,
He's
you're outnumbered.
And you can see bop, 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 bop,
Sick.
bop. some of the ones up the ledges here are elevated about 25 feet up in the air. 4 of them have bows, the rest of them have swords and shields, and the other guy has this big, large sword that he carries in his hand. And you can see that all around you, it seems as though the sunlight is just starved from this area. There are only these faint traces of light that come in, as if the canopy is shielding this area, preventing light from getting in.
Ajax is going to say to the rest of everybody, the people who have revealed themselves,
All of you two want to die here? Is that what you want? I only need a yes or no.
You can see they just
And
bear their weapons.
while he's saying that, he is going to start slowly dropping the illusion of holy Ajax to show underneath dark Ajax, and then he's going to summon both the hammers.
Okay. Alrighty. So as you summon both of the hammers, Ajax, all of you look around. You've heard those noises before. You know what creature makes those noises. You can see the bandits look around and hear them as well. And you can see the bandit chief's eyes go wide as appearing behind him from the shadow, a blade thrusts through his chest, and you can see his body just begin to rot and corrupt as the shadow spreads throughout, as his form drops to the ground and begins to convulse and shake until eventually it rises, the flesh sopping from his form, this ghoulish form emerging as a Bansheen flicks the blade, the black bile of blood sizzling onto the stone. You can see 3, so 2 Bansheen, 2 more Bansheen appear. And thundering through the forest, you see this massive creature. Deep, pale blue skin, cloaked, wielding these massive weapons. Horns jutting out of the front of the face and out of the forehead. Deep, deep, deep yellow eyes. Ready to fight. Ajax, you were going to say something?
Ajax sees this and goes,
Fuck.
And on that note, Ajax, as you say that, you can see the rest of the Bansheen, they begin to copy themselves as 6 Bansheen total appear, and 1 Oni. The bandits, they look in incredible fear, having seen their captain just die. They don't know whether they're going to stay or fight. And on that note, that is where we're going to go ahead and end tonight's session. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. It was a very fun session. We're ending just a little bit early tonight because we don't have enough time for the combat. So very excited for next week. Be sure to tune in next Tuesday because we will be here for that. And be sure to tune in. Yeah, next Tuesday is going to be the next D&D thing that happens. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next Tuesday.